Forget everything you thought you knew about the origins of language. What if the world's oldest language isn't just a collection of sounds, but a living testament to forgotten civilizations and lost connections to our past? Get ready for a journey deep into time to uncover the mystery of the world's oldest language and its amazing history. The world's oldest language and its amazing history. The question of which language is the oldest in the world has fascinated linguists, historians, and researchers for centuries. At first glance, the answer seems simple, but the deeper we delve into the history of human communication, the more complex and multifaceted this enigma becomes. Unlike archaeological finds, languages don't leave fossils. Their evolution is a continuous flow of changes that can sometimes be impossible to track. The quest for the oldest language faces a fundamental problem. What do we consider a language? Spoken language has existed for tens of thousands of years, but writing for only a few millennia. If we're talking about spoken language, then all currently existing languages have the same depth of history, tracing their roots back to the moment humans began to communicate. However, if we're looking for a language that has been preserved in its ancient form or has the longest continuous written records, then the list of contenders narrows considerably. The challenge of defining antiquity, linguists typically distinguish between two types of antiquity for a language. Antiquity as continuity, which language has existed in a recognizable form continuously down to the present day. Antiquity as first appearance, which language was first documented in written form. Since we can't time travel and listen to early humans, we rely on written sources as the most reliable evidence of a language's existence and structure. Contenders for the title of oldest, written languages. If we proceed based on the criterion of the earliest written evidence, the battle for the title of oldest language unfolds among several powerful candidates. 1. Sumerian, Mesopotamia. History. Emerging in Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. Sumerian is one of the world's oldest written languages. Its earliest written records date back to approximately 3200 BCE. Writing system. It used cuneiform, a system of writing that evolved from pictographs to more abstract signs. Fate. Sumerian was a linguistic isolate, unrelated to any known language families. It persisted as a spoken language until about 2000 BCE, after which it was supplanted by Akkadian. However, it continued to be used for nearly 2 millennia as a sacred literary and scholarly language, similar to Latin in medieval Europe. Sumerian gave us the first great literary works, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, and thousands of administrative documents, revealing the daily life of an ancient civilization. Its complex grammar and rich vocabulary attest to a highly developed culture that laid the foundations for many human achievements. 2. Ancient Egyptian, Egypt. History. Ancient Egyptian, also one of the oldest, has written records dating back to approximately 3200–3100 BCE. Writing system. It used hieroglyphs, a symbolic writing system carved in stone or written on papyrus. Fate. Ancient Egyptian evolved and transformed over thousands of years, transitioning into forms like Middle Egyptian, Late Egyptian, Demotic, and finally Coptic. Coptic, the last stage of ancient Egyptian, is still used today as a liturgical language by the Coptic Orthodox Church. Thanks to it, we know about the pharaohs, pyramids, the Book of the Dead, and the complex beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. Its hieroglyphs still fascinate us with their beauty and mystery, serving as a window into one of the greatest civilizations of the past. 3. Akkadian, Mesopotamia. History. Akkadian, belonging to the Semitic language family, appeared in Mesopotamia around 2500 BCE. It replaced Sumerian as the spoken language. Writing system. It also used cuneiform, adapted from Sumerian. Wait, Akkadian was the primary language of Mesopotamia for many centuries, including during the periods of the Assyrian and Babylonian empires. It persisted until the 1st century CE, when it was supplanted by Aramaic. Akkadian became the first international language of diplomacy and trade in the ancient Near East, reflecting its widespread influence. It gave us important texts like the Code of Hammurabi, one of the oldest legal codes, languages with continuous history, living ancient languages. If we are looking for languages that are still actively used today and have a very long, continuous written history, the list changes. 1. Tamil, India, Sri Lanka. History. Tamil, belonging to the Dravidian language family, has written records dating back to approximately 300 BCE, though its roots go much deeper. Current status. It is one of the oldest living languages in the world, spoken by tens of millions of people in India, Sri Lanka, Singapore, and other countries. Its classical literature is vast and spans over 2 millennia. Tamil is not just ancient, but a living classical language that continues to evolve and be used in daily life, literature, cinema, and music. Its continuity is astonishing, demonstrating the remarkable resilience of a cultural tradition. 2. Sanskrit, India, history. Sanskrit, an Indo-Aryan language, is known for its oldest forms, Vedic Sanskrit, from around 1500 BCE. Current status. Although it is no longer a spoken language for the majority, it continues to be used as a liturgical language in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, as well as in academic and scientific circles. Its grammar and phonetics have had a huge influence on linguistics. Sanskrit is the language of the gods and the foundation of classical Indian literature, including the Vedas, Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Ramayana. Its elegance and logical structure have inspired many linguists, including Western scholars, in the study of languages. 3. Greek, Greece history. Ancient Greek appeared in the Mycenaean civilization around 1450 BCE through Linear B script. Classical Greek, which we know from the works of Homer, Plato, and Aristotle, dates back to the 800s BCE. Current status. Modern Greek is a direct descendant of ancient Greek, demonstrating incredible continuity for over 3,000 years. The Greek language was the cradle of Western philosophy, science, drama, and democracy. The Gospels of the New Testament were written in Greek, making it one of the most important languages in religious history. 4. Chinese, China. History. Early forms of the Chinese language, recorded on oracle bones, date back to approximately 1250 BCE. Current status, modern Chinese, with its various dialects, Mandarin, Cantonese, etc., is a direct descendant of this ancient language and is used by hundreds of millions of people worldwide. The Chinese language and its hieroglyphic script are symbols of one of the world's oldest and most continuous civilizations. Its complex writing system, evolving over millennia, reflects a rich culture and philosophy. 5. Hebrew, Israel, history. The oldest Hebrew inscriptions date back to approximately the 10th century BCE. It is the language of the Tanakh, Old Testament. Current status. Although Hebrew nearly died out as a spoken language by the 4th century CE, it was preserved as a liturgical and scholarly language. In the late 19th, early 20th centuries, it was successfully revived as a spoken language in Israel, a unique case in the history of linguistics. The revival of Hebrew is an unprecedented linguistic miracle, demonstrating the power of cultural identity and determination. It is key to understanding many ancient texts and religious traditions. Conclusion: the living legacy of language. So which language is the oldest? If we're talking about the earliest written evidence, it's most likely Sumerian or ancient Egyptian. However, if it's about a language that is still alive and actively used, then Tamil, Greek, Chinese, and Hebrew are the strongest contenders for the title of oldest living language, each with its unique, incredible story of continuity and development. Each of these languages is more than just a system of communication. It's a living testament to thousands of years of human history, thought, culture, and civilization. They serve as a bridge connecting us to long past eras, allowing us to read words written by those who lived long before us and understand their thoughts, their dreams, and their beliefs. The history of each of these languages is the history of humanity itself, its quest for understanding, expression, and the transmission of knowledge across generations.